Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, the Jedi Master of Disney, Zack Upwatts.
Yeah, I'm booing my Mets. That was quite the scene this weekend where they were booing the fans, fuming over that.
On my list of things to talk about today, episode 92. Talking to Zack today, he goes, yeah, we'll call this Après Disney, so that's the working title. Booze Your Daddy.
I use Après day to day way more than anybody should.
But anti or anti is before. I always have to kind of stop and think like après. Okay, no, après ski means after you ski, you drink.
Yeah, you drink. You can drink before you ski. Go crazy, kid. But, you know, après is after.
It's
but
good
I
to
use
be
it at like random weird times. Like, so, you know, après lunch, we'll have a meeting. Just, it gets a laugh every time. But first they throw their around, then they chuckle.
Zack, it's good to have you back where we can do these live episodes. Of course, our schedule is all verschmiggin, yeah, basically. But we're going to talk about that. People, Booze Your Daddy.
But what are you doing tomorrow? You got a thing?
Fantasy football draft, my friend, live and in person. Which
we should have done it from this. I have a draft on Wednesday. I will be doing at a 40th birthday for one of Jenna's friends. I have at a very nice restaurant. They've got $50 pasta. 50. Hope the other guy's paying on the menu.
What's in there? Gold truffle?
I don't know, but if I get it, I'm going to order the $50 pasta like the $5 shake in Pulp Fiction. I'm not even going to say what it's. I'm going to order it by the price. Choose $50 pasta.
That's one damn good burger.
I let the waiter figure out which one I'm talking about. But yes, I've already told the host, like, listen, dude, I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be, dead class A. I've got to do this. As a 12-man league, I'm the only guy who can't make it. It's going to happen. So he's cool with it. And no one at the table knows football. So no one can even, like, help. I can't make it a thing. I can't make it affable. It's just going to be me, in the corner.
If you've done your research, you should kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah, but I've still got to know what so, like, at some point during the middle of dinner, you're going to be like, da-da-da-da-da. Meaning I'm up to pick.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays is normally when it's live. We post it later on Saturdays. Make sure you're rating, reviewing, subscribing. Do all the things for us. Before we get into the show, Zack, what you drinking, buddy?
I'm on my last week of the Smutty Noses. I'm surprised I still had these, but I do. So I was going to get new beer today, but I didn't. So last up. Yeah, what do you got?
How are you not just calling that Slutty Nose at this point?
I called that last week, so I didn't want to be,
That's a thing.
I didn't want to double down on the same joke.
I am hitting up the Wet Ticket Brewing one more time in Rahway, New Jersey with a Trolley Hopper New England style IPA, 7% alcohol, 77 IBU, which is pretty bitter. I've gotten pushback on that. People say it's
the IBU scale.
International Bitterness Unit.
Yeah, but who's judging it?
Some schmuck in New England. I don't know.
Yeah, but like who makes the scale? Go on.
I've gotten pushback that people say it's not IBU, it's IBU, which afungul.
No, it's IBU. And anyone who has to say IBU, it's like I'm going to take an IOU from them. All right, I got you.
All right, release the Kraken.
It's going to be bad. They're all bad. Oh, no, he froze. Good Lord, it looks like he's 100. It looks like Better Call Saul with that comb over and the beer and the schnoz. Look at him. So, for those who don't know, he lost his power. So, He-Man, he is not. Can't go, I have the power. Look at him go. Guy's got nothing left. It's like tits on a bull. Useless. Ravens. He's all smug now. So, glad you asked. Oh, he's back. Are we back?
I thought I was.
You are, perhaps.
Okay, go on with your story. Zack, what's been going on?
I was vamping. I was at Disney.
If you could have picked a worse time to go to a hurricane, the center of it, you did it.
We had the best weather. It's supposed to rain every day in Orlando in August. It rained for like an hour one day and it drizzled. The rest of the days were about 102. But I had Zoe on my shoulders. It was like my personal Vietnam, trudging through there with a backpack and Zoe and all that. Oh, no, too soon? No good?
I just got back from Vietnam.
And boy, are your arms tired. Anyway, so we were there, and the first day we get to the hotel. I'll give it a shout out because it sucked. We were at the Caribbean beach. Do not stay there.
Sounds lovely.
It wasn't. We pretty much put the bags down. I told Jenna, don't unpack, get a bathing suit, let's go swimming, we're not staying. We went swimming. I immediately summoned my grandfather and complained. He would never take the first hotel room that he was given. That's the one they want you to have. Restaurant tables, too. The one they're trying to get rid of. Unless it's a place he liked, then it's so you could be seen. It's a good table. But for the most part, he would always change hotel rooms. I've never done this move. Not only did I change hotel rooms, we actually changed hotels. So I said to Jenna, we're going to dinner. The bags will be at the new room when we get back. So we get back to the new hotel room, the Yacht Club. We were the only Jews there. All the WASPs from New England know to stay at this place. It was quite the scene. We didn't get the memo. We were the only Jays there. Anyway, Zoe walks in and goes, now this is a hotel room. It was hysterical. The other room was dated. It was a whole thing. I feel bad when the woman said, like, whoa, what's wrong with the room? I had to explain it to her. There's a place that she works and telling her why I'm too good for it. Because I'm, that asshole. But anyway, yeah, we changed rooms out of the gate. Then we went 6 days in different Disney parks. I totally geeked out on Star Wars. We built a droid. Although I lost a generational rock, paper, scissor match. I wanted to build R2-D2. She wanted BB-8, that little basketball thing.
How did you lose? Explain that to me, a generational one.
Well, I wanted R2-D2 because
No. But did you rock, paper, scissors? Because on Big Bang Theory, there's 2 more options that they do, so there's never a tie type of deal.
Not doing that. And I wanted to do Ranger, Poacher, Bear as you like to do, but we were in line. Now, the problem is Zoe entered and went very deep into a rock, paper, scissors tournament at camp. So she's in full mid-season form.
They have camp for that?
What?
They have camp for that?
I don't know. They did it as a thing on a rainy day at camp, whatever. Now, I told her, I gave some strategy. I said, if you're playing a boy, just throw paper because that idiot's throwing rock. You mow the field down.
You're not wrong.
7-year-old boy, good old rock.
Good old rock.
Yeah. Throw paper. You can just cruise to the quarterfinals. So, yeah, she beat me in a 2 out of 3, a legit one. I won the first round, then dropped the next 2. I choked. So we had to build hers. I wanted the old guy droid.
This was her first time. Would you go back with her?
I would.
Okay.
I would. We had a lot of fun. We did a bunch of parks. We met up with some old cousins I haven't seen in 15 years. One of my older cousins, she got me drunk the first time on when I was way too young at some bar mitzvah. It was a blast because they had kids who were Zoe's age and they all hung out. But it was a lot of fun. Great trip. One firework from the trip. One of the nights we were there, we went to the ice cream shop at the hotel by the pool. Zoe ordered her ice cream, and I looked at the menu, and they've got some adult ones. I said, ooh, that sounds great. Let me get a boozy root beer float. This girl couldn't have been more than 18, 90 pounds soaking wet. Looked like a total dork because she's working Disney. And it says her name, and it's earning my ears, which means trainee. Looks at me and goes, I need to see ID.
Yes.
I go, well, my ID is in my hotel, my room. And, we were, by the way, the last room in the place. We were at the end of the earth. We're pretty much in New York.
Because you switched like an asshole.
I know. So I was happy to be there. I said, I'm not going back to the room for this ID. She goes, well, I need to see ID. I lower my mask and go, you're joking. I'm 40.
Wait, why'd you lower your mask? You could have just shown her your hairline.
You're one to talk. You're younger than me. You got 8 wispy things up there. Anyway, you can use a little sod on the fairway. Anyway, like a white knight, her manager comes out of the bullpen. No, it's okay. It's okay. I guess they could see that this was not, I was losing it. This was 2 seconds away from me setting that place on fire.
Zach, that happened to my dad at Pizza Hut.
You set an ice cream stand on fire?
I was old enough to remember it. So probably I was 10. My dad was at least into his late 40s, maybe his early 50s. And his hairline makes me look good. Wow. And the waitress, he ordered like a Miller Lite or something with some pizza. The waitress said, I need to see some ID. And he stops with, you're kidding me, right? To the point that
you're fucking kidding me. I said, you're kidding me. I can't believe I held back on the F-bomb.
He wouldn't show her an ID, but he did take out his wallet and showed her every credit card he had. It's like, do you think I could have all these credit cards? And she's like,
Diners
sir,
Club card. Huh.
It's company policy. And he said, I'm not showing you an ID. And she goes, you're not getting a beer. And do you know what happened? He didn't get a beer out of principle.
This girl said, I'm just following my training. I was about to say that's exactly what the Nazis said, by the way. Just following orders here. Jawohl. So,
Work will set you free, man.
God, she didn't know what she was in for 2 seconds. It was like it was her own Cuban Missile Crisis. She was like 30 seconds away from all hell breaking loose for a actually delicious, boozy float. And they gave
What's
me
the booze they
extra-
put in that?
I
Whiskey?
think it was like alcohol. No, that's what I put in, but I think it was like one of those hard root beers. It came all
Oh.
boozed up already.
Have you not had
Whatever.
one of those not your father's root beer?
I have.
Oh,
but
it was
never
all the
had a fight
fuss.
for
Like
one.
it was all the fuss. Maybe like 5 years ago, you just put a scoop of
I've
vanilla
had
in
it,
there.
and I wanted with the root. I knew what I was getting. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get past Studio 54. She wouldn't lift the velvet rope for me. And meanwhile, Zoe's sitting there with like her ice cream, enjoying it, watching Daddy, about to tear some, like, earning my ears head off.
Do you realize what you're doing to your daughter right now in active time? Because she's going to look back in 30 years and be like, oh my God, my dad was so ridiculous. And you were very with it.
Yeah, I'm hip. I'm with it.
hip.
Anyway, so that was that. That was like day 2. The parks were pretty tame. There was no big blowouts or any, Michigas there. For the most part, it was just northern tourists. A lot of Philly fans. Oh, God. Well, actually made me feel comforted because I've assumed that Boston and Philly fans are also vaccinated.
Philly, do you mean FES or P? Which Philly?
Huh?
Flyers, Eagles, Sixers, or Phillies?
Abbreviations? Mostly Phillies fans. Ugh.
Okay.
Fe, as we say. Call back. Fe.
Nice.
Nevertheless, they were the worst. But most likely the worst and vaccinated, which is, all I needed to see.
You have some balls saying "fe" to the Phillies, wearing your Mets shirt. I'm pretty sure at this point the Mets will be watching the playoffs from the same place
this Mets
I will
shirt
be, right?
Is from 1991. Look at that bad boy. Found this thing in the back of my Schiffer robe.
Zach, I got to give you credit for back in the day when the projections came out, when the season first started. You've been on the show long enough, and I said the Mets are going to be in the playoffs, and your quote was, you haven't been watching this team long enough. And sure enough, just when you think Syndergaard's coming back, COVID. How you doing?
Adios, muchacho. Yeah. How sloppy is he? Who's he making out with? Good Lord. Just get your shot or wear your mask, Thor. Some real god there.
But he's got it.
Yeah. What was that? Are you going to say he had the hammer of Thor on him? Is that where this is going before you made that horrible frozen face? This is a train wreck. Just a bus fire. What were you saying? Back? Not back? See, he's going to edit all this out so that he sounds like, Cicero.
Cicero.
And I'm just going to be nothing.
I said he has a hammer. I don't know when you can hear me. Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Yeah, he's definitely got a hog on him.
All right.
He's
so
got
Zach,
hair down there too.
We got so the reason we're doing this on a Tuesday is because there's fantasy stuff happening here, there, Monday, everywhere. Yeah. I said the reason those of us who have work and don't have. By the way, I dropped a good. Oh, look, it's an out of work shirt, which I then had to explain to somebody, and they were like, "I get it. It's a shirt." I
sent you a top-notch one from Epcot. That was what they had made the people there wear. Nonsensical shirt.
So the reason we're doing this not on a Tuesday is because there's fantasy drafts, there's things going on. So we had talked before, and I'm in a couple of fantasy leagues more than I like to tell people, and there's all types of new.
This year, you made me go to that family Mishpucha league.
Mishpucha. Hey, you have a chance to beat Steph, so she'll get her own little personal revenge on you. So there's all types of leagues happening. I'm in a guillotine league, which, if you have the lowest score, you get eliminated. I'm in a vampire league, which for the first time where somebody doesn't have a team, but then they get to.
I hear that league sucks.
Oh, that was really bad.
Oh, it was great. Oh, it's gold.
Better is it's a draining league.
Oh, well, you had time to think. I was just vamping.
So before we really get to the. Before we get to the good part of this episode,
funny.
We had talked about team names, and you have a couple of them. Did you have some time to think any of good team names, or should I just go with my top 10?
No, I didn't think of any. I said I was going to, and I totally punted on it.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a game called You Punny or Not Funny. Got
Sure.
it?
I get it.
Said the guy who brought nothing to the table. People who are listening to this, He made a face like, ugh.
I
But
brought
the face just
everything to
said
the
that.
table. I am the
So-
table.
I'm going to give you my top 10 names that I came up with for my best 10 names for this team. I'll go in reverse order for it, and you go with you punny or not funny.
Mhm.
Number 10,
Not
CD Lambda variant. CD
Not-
Lambda variant.
I would rather CD lambda.
Okay, doesn't fit in the Yahoo space.
You can make
Number
lambdas.
no, you can't.
You can cut and paste them, I think. If you
Number
have to do it on
9.
Word, and then you put it in.
Number 9, this one you have to play with a little bit. For the wide receiver on San Francisco, Brandon Ayuk, I have Ayuk guys and a picture of Chunk.
That's funny. That's very good.
That's my number 9.
Very good. That should be moved up. I don't see 7 beating that one.
Number 8, I just have Daddy and a picture of the podcast logo, but the whole playing somebody named Daddy sucks. And when you lose, it really sucks.
Not funny.
Okay, fair enough. Number 7.
You should have been like the Flaming Rainbows. You're gonna lose to that team?
I'm happy that this guy is still doing commentary. Number 7, Vaccinate Burleson.
It's timely. It's not
Obviously,
nearly
that's
as
what I'm
good
going
as-
for.
It's not nearly as good as "Hey, you guys."
Well,
Now,
it's
I'm a
Ayuk
Goonies
guys. I know.
get you. I'm a Goonies nerd. Like I love that shit.
Number 6, my 6th best name is 1877 Cars for Kid, with cards spelled with a C.
With 2 R's.
Yeah, like David Carr and Derek Carr.
I hate that commercial.
Are you going to say you punny or not funny?
Oh, none of these have been funny besides you punny for Ayuk, you guys.
Okay. Number 5, and it's not so great because he's out for the season now, is the ATN words. The ATN words.
I mean, that's funny. It's funny. And I've got Robinson in some keeper league where I inherited some.
No one cares.
team.
No one cares about your keeper league. We don't want to hear
They
about
do.
that.
We
Number
need to hear your
4.
brilliant hot takes on these names that stink on ice.
These are all original shit, man.
All right.
Number
You should have
4.
texted me to do this. I would have come up with some gold. I've forgotten all about this project you gave me 2 weeks ago.
Najee and Silent Bob. Najee and Silent Bob.
Not funny.
All right. Number
You blew
3.
your load early on number 8.
Number 3. Hilaire Force Ones. And they're pictures of shoes with Chiefs logos.
I would have put pictures of like Harrison Ford. Phenomenal movie.
Number 2, which
Wait, that was funny, actually, I think.
Okay, so
That
say
was funny, yeah.
you
That was
punny,
good.
and you have to say it like sassy, like oh you punny.
You punny. I should never do that again.
Snaps. Number 2, which I was tweeting and a fantasy analyst retweeted, which is the highlight of my week.
Who, Brandon Funston?
That guy's a
Is he
fat
still a
fuck.
thing?
He's a thing. Number 2. So
Not a
I don't
thing.
know if you're aware. I will explain this before I say the joke. Is the wide receiver for the Jaguars this year is Laviscus Chenault Jr. He's
I know
one of
who
their.
he is. I know who he is. Everyone in our
Chenault-
chat knows who he is.
Nobody in our chat knows who he is. Number 2, Chenaulty by nature.
Awful. Not funny.
serious-
Like it's
seriously?
not good.
Retweeted. It was fantastic.
No, my fun
And-
thought that was funny. What does he know from comedy? Call me when it's Matthew Berry
I'm an Andy Barron's guy myself, but
or the
okay.
squirrel, whatever that guy's name is, the beard, and he sucks.
Squirrel? You mean the squirrel that does
Yeah, that guy sucks.
the look? And
Yeah.
number 1, which I think you actually helped contribute to, with a picture of the Miami condominium, it is Mahomes collapsed.
That one is what is it? Punny?
Oh,
What
you
does it
punny.
do?
Oh,
you punny. All right, that's not bad. That one's good. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's timely and funny. 1 and 8. That's the list.
Okay. All right. So, Zach, for Peeshadoo of the week, I have 2 candidates for you. And
You for
one of
having no
them,
power.
okay, 3 candidates. Me for not having power.
You look like an episode of Fraggle Rock. You're like from 1984. This is all fuzzy and faded out.
Number 2, we're going with the Javi Baez booing the fans, which I think was great. Great.
You're an asshole. What a dick. They're paying his salary.
The
You're going to
fans
be
are?
feisty. What? Hell
The
yeah,
fans
they
are?
are. With no gate, Uncle Steve, well, he's got plenty of money. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, what?
You fans are going to keep supporting. Look, people go to Camden Yards.
Shit.
People go to Camden Yards. People will always go to Shitty Field. Always.
Yeah, but people go to Camden Yards to see Camden Yards, and they're all road fans, or they're, for the fun of it. Met fans actually want to see their team win. He should be canned because the jerk off next to him we got for 9 more years. So we can't get rid of him. Nice 220 batting average. I made a gentleman's bet with your boy Eric.
It's your boy.
Whatever. I didn't want to put any money on it because I didn't want to be right. In like the third week of the year when Lindor was really strong, I bet he doesn't hit 230 the whole year. Eric goes, "Oh, I guarantee he's way above that." I go,
"Oh, I tried to con him into a similar bet, and he wanted nothing to do with it."
I said to him, "I don't want to be right, so I'm not going to put money on it and root for him to suck. But let's do gentleman's bet 230." Now he may eventually get over that, but it's September and he's under it. Right or wrong, he sucks. And for him to do it, and for Baez to do it, they both suck. They can both leave. I got news for you. Ahmed Rosario is hitting 275.
As Ron Katz states, Javi won't be back with the team. No, I actually like playing the heel. We've talked about this before, but that is your Peeshadoo number 2, other than me. Number 3, I have to tread very lightly because, as you know, this past weekend, I went down to Maryland to help clean out my future in-laws' houses. She wins. It's.
I don't know. I actually
the girl. All right. So here's what happened. We went down to clean out my future in-laws' house so they can prepare to move, to sell, to do whatever. And neither, no, sir, not yet. Anyways, hopefully to the great state of Florida. But
I can pork a baby into her, and we'll see how close they move.
I have to tread very lightly with this because this girl
say it.
Julia, well, I don't know if he's going to listen to the show, and I'm just going to state facts. I'm going to say what happened and not give any takes on it. But more or less, Julia's brother brought his new girlfriend to come help clean and do X, Y, and Z. Great. So in order now,
heck of a boyfriend, by the way, bringing your new girlfriend to help clean someone else's house.
Drove 9 hours.
What a shitty thing to do. I hope he got some roadhead.
In her car because he has a Tesla and he doesn't like stopping to fill it up because it takes too long.
Like
fill it up,
charge. An hour. Who paid
4 times. He's done it already. 4 times. He did this for Christmas with the last girlfriend. It took them 14 hours because you have to stop for 4 times. It's insane. It's insane. Anyways, so I'd like to think I'm a good judge of character.
That's a cliffhanger. Look at you. You freeze. I'm a good judge of character, and then you just bow out.
You think I do this on purpose? You think I'm purposely?
I was going to tell my version of the story from the 4 texts you sent me.
The 4 texts have the highlight. Here's what happened first. The first thing, which I don't know if this is fair to her, but more or less, we went through picture albums and we found a really cute picture of him when he was little in Disney, loving life. And it was very, very early in our interactions. I turned to her and I said, "Oh my God, do you want to see a picture of your boyfriend when he used to be cute?" And it's meant to be like jovial and fun. And her eyes went into the back of her head. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't know if that was the best reaction, but it was more of a shut the fuck up than it was a, "Oh, you're ridiculous." I mean, it was not jovial in the least. It was very, very aggressive. And then that night we went to dinner. I think you and I have talked before about going to dinner and how bad is the service and what do you do? Certainly, what do you say when service is bad when you haven't gotten your food? Having worked in restaurants, Kenny My Heart currently watching, you do not say anything until food is in front of you because that food, what was the text that I think, did you send this to me? They're going to do the business to your French
road trip on your road trip, the full Horatio Sands on your French toast.
Never. And this girl at a restaurant,
I've seen my grandfather go berserk and we were all sitting at the table like trembling, eating what we're about to eat because he's lost it on it. But I try not to. And even when I do, I sugarcoat it. Like, we had a bunch of great meals at Disney. Like, the food quality is what it is, but like the service is top notch. They really do a first rate job at everything. One meal just came out really weird. Like, my food came first, then Zoe's, then Jenna's was like forever. And I even said to the guy, hey, listen, this is bordering on not okay.
Right.
Like, I tried to be, and he ended up making it okay by giving Zoe two little, light up toys. Mistakes happen. The best thing to do when mistakes happen is correct them.
Right.
So
you could be nice about it. You can turn to the person and be like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, come on. Like, but this girl, Zach, she gave a piece of her mind she basically was punching people and then going, oh, you want some? Oh, how about you? She gave it to the waitress twice, to the person who delivered the drinks, to a busboy. And then I went to pick up the car.
Busboy? This guy's one step away from suicide. She's yelling at a busboy.
I'm waiting for them outside, and what took so long? Because she gave the manager also a piece of the mind. And now we're at the point where red flags are starting to raise, because I was out on this business deal with this girl after the first 15 seconds, but of course, I have zero tolerance. Here is the main event.
If she's a smoke show, it's okay. But,
she's a solid 6. I'll leave it at that.
Then she's hotter than that. You're just pissy at her.
No. If you ask Julia, she's a 4. I'm giving her a 6. Anyways.
Women always rank other women low. It's a thing.
Anyways, the main event was when we were cleaning, and I am downstairs with the older brother, with Julia and myself, and we're cleaning. And
you're cleaning?
What's
wrong with you?
I don't clean my own stuff. But anyways,
what are you doing?
More or less. Moving stuff. We're just constantly moving and cleaning.
You see those big vans? Throw a few shekels at the problem.
Vans? We filled a dumpster up, Zach. And then we're ordering another one.
Why don't you pay a guy, off a guy, whatever?
Because I don't own that much crypto. But anyways.
Neither do I, but I would have still paid someone to move my father-in-law's crap.
You have no idea, Zach. So we'll talk about this off air. But more or less, we're downstairs.
Let's do it.
Doing our thing, and I'm not going to say that Julia's dad is the most helpful when it comes.
Right. 1-800 Got Junk, better than Got Junk. College hunks moving junk. They'll take anything. My mom paid them in booze pretty much. When my grandparents passed it to be cleaned out, she said, "Keep the bar. I'll be back in 2 hours." I think it was down to the studs.
I'll just tell you that it's costing thousands. And if we would have gotten 1-800-JUNK, it would have been in 5-digit range. It's just not worth getting into, okay?
You gotta get the college guys. You pay them in beer. It's great.
So we are in the basement cleaning. And while Julia's dad is not the most helpful person, he kind of gets in the way more than he helps. So if he just wants to go get a frappe latte, I couldn't care less. We're in the basement.
He always puts his body in the wrong spot.
And we hear from the basement, why don't you get up and actually help us while we're doing this?
Woof!
And it was like, and the three of us open our eyes up, and he yells, "I'm laying down, my back hurts." And she goes, we're here doing this for you. She went into his bedroom and started yelling at him. At which point he goes to the son, "Your girlfriend's disrespectful." And she yells, "You don't deserve respect." Second time meeting her. Zach.
I love her.
Zach.
Her.
Did you know what I did?
She's phenomenal.
Do you know what I did? I ran upstairs to the room, locked the door, and texted all my friends like, "Oh my God, you're never going to guess what's happening right now."
I wish you had live streamed it. I would have been on team What's Her Face.
We're not using real names for the sake of this. We'll just call her Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen.
We had a close. I said Cindy.
She's hyphenated.
Ugh. I'm losing.
She's hyphenated, and if you use the first without the second, I worked with a girl one time whose name is Ashley Rose, and one time I called her Ashley. You would have thought I used the N-word. I've never seen somebody get so mad at me. I was like, sorry, Ashley Rose. But this girl is hyphenated, and she also has that stipulation.
I love her to death. Big fan. Hobby bias. Asshole of the week.
Zach, I thought I was getting punked. This thing.
Now you are getting punked because you're looking like a fucking schmuck. You freeze in the worst possible spaces. It's phenomenal. Samantha's right. It's gold. Anyway, I think she's an absolute treasure. She's probably right. Maybe he was being lazy. I don't know. He's got all you people there working for him. What did he give
Who
you?
you calling you people?
Yeah, exactly. What did he give you? A sixer of Ginny's cream ale?
I got a couple. Oh, I got a UFC 1 mint condition VHS is what I got out of this.
Yeah. Good luck. That sounds like eBay. That's got to pull in $9, no problem.
All right, Zach. Well, you're voting for Peeshadoo number 3, which we'll talk way more about this.
No, I like her a lot. I'm voting for Javi Baez. He's an asshole. I love this girl.
For trivia this week, I decided to pull something from fantasy football. Now, most people listening to this couldn't care less about fantasy football and elimination leagues, survivor leagues, sleepers, and bust. But I thought I'd pull something from there. And what we're going to do today is test your knowledge on busts. Now, you have to know I'm not. Yes, those type of busts.
36 double D.
Question number 1. Coming in with 32 Fs. This Colombian-American actress is currently married to Joe Manganiello.
Sofia Vergara.
That is correct. By the way, 32F comes out of her own mouth.
Smoke show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's like 10 years older than him, too. Smoke show. He's got to be hung like a hog. He's huge. Monster.
That was one of those statements I don't think you've ever said on air, but that's like a Zack thought.
Yeah, he's huge.
Question the second. Another set of 32 Fs will make men mad. Name this ginger actress.
Though I'm not a fan of, I haven't seen the show because I'm that asshole. It's Christina Hendricks. Because I know that because she was married to and recently divorced the poor bastard who did, Space Invaders in Super Troopers. He was great. Freaking out, man. How did he land her? He's got to have a hog on him, too.
Just pigs everywhere.
Huge.
Question number 3. She's 40 years old with an estimated net worth of $1.4 billion, 249 million Instagram followers, 5 Teen Choice Awards for her hit reality show on E, 4 children, 3 ex-husbands, including Kanye West. How big are Kim Kardashian's tits?
Okay. Kim Kardashian, she's 40? I thought she's my age.
41 in October.
Me too. October what?
21st.
Fuck, I'm older than her. I'm the 17th. What was the question? How big are her tits?
How big are her boobs?
Currently, I'm going to say, I see her back. I think she's got to be a 38 because she's got a bit of a 36 G.
I also forget when we talk about Kim Kardashian, she's all ass. She's 34 Ds.
Really? That's it?
Yeah. I also was like, oh, that's it? That's
it? I would have thought she'd be more. I was wrong.
Question number 4. In case you haven't been following her, Heidi Pratt Nay Montag has all the plastic surgery, including going from a set of 35 triple Ds to a much more manageable 36. Yeah, that's what I said when I read this. She's gone to a much more manageable 36C. What was the hit reality series that launched her to celebrity status in 2006?
Who is this?
Heidi Montag.
She gotta be The Bachelor. You're a fucking Bachelor nerd.
No. MTV show.
The Real World? I don't know who this person is.
I would have given you credit for Laguna Beach, but she was on The Hills.
I don't know. Yeah. I've heard
Shelby. Knew it.
There's a life wasted.
Shelby?
I have no... Yeah, Shelby. Wasted a life. What do you do for a living? What's The Hills?
So I was reading this and they kept calling her a celeb, and I was like, she's a faux leb. That should be a word, right? Like a faux leb.
I mean...
I am also too old for The Hills. I did not watch any of it.
How old is those two? Those two hens clucking at each other.
Samantha, she's a couple 3 years old, younger than me. And Shelby is...
Drop an age on us. Out them.
Samantha's 34.
What about Shelby?
31-ish.
Both look great, Bush. Go on. Next question.
Last question. Question number 5.
And fabulous. I'll be the judge of that. I'll meet you at
Dolly-
the wedding. We'll see how fabulous.
Dolly Parton's size 40 double Ds might be the most expensive rack of all of them.
I give her credit. Same husband for like 60 years. Look at her go.
She was stupping everybody.
Yeah, like I stripped her twice during the show, but same husband. Go on.
Her rack might be worth more than everybody else's because she notoriously insured her girls, her words, not mine, back in the 70s. Zach, plus or minus $50,000. How much was each boob valued at?
Each boob, I would say she valued at in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. The article I read had what the current valuation was, and it was nuts.
I would say in the 70s, each one was worth $300,000.
$300,000 is correct.
Oh! Take that, you two old broads.
That is 100% right. So it said her boobs were valued for $600K, which was worth $2.6 million or something right now. Yeah, that's a rack for you, sir.
That is some rack of lamb.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast.
Else, yeah.
I hope you guys had fun. We're doing it live. We're going to get back to a more normal schedule next week. We thank everybody for listening. We thank the comments.
Maybe you can call, Con Ed or somebody. You don't look in 1974.
Daddy loves you.
Oh, I love you too. And you too, the Isserman and Rothman. What's their real names? What's their unmarried names?
Schnitzer.
The Schnitzer girls. Love you both.